WEFM is SVG.
Bringing you the news 24 hours a day, 7 days per week, with a fresh approach. www.999wefm.com. WeFM News, online, on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Hassle-free loans for your every need. Courts have you covered, best believe. Courts Ready Cash is for everyone. Not to worry, fast approval. Hurry up and come. We got it all, we on the go. Courts Ready Cash, you already know. We got it all, we on the go. Courts Ready Cash, always ready when you're ready, let's go.
Courts Ready Cash, ready when you are.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the St. Vincent Electricity Services VINLEC is in the process of identifying areas on Union Island best suited for the installation of solar-powered lights. This is according to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who was speaking on WeFM's Issue at Hand program on Sunday. Prime Minister Gonsalves said that VINLEC currently has 30 lights in stock for installation on Union Island, with another 80 ordered. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
The electricity in Union was shut through completely, the generators and all that. What VINLEC is doing, VINLEC has in hand 30 solar-powered lights, lamps, which they've identified in buildings on which to put them, and even some of the poles, so that people can have some light now and put them in the square so that in Ashton and Clifton so people could gather. VINLEC has ordered 80 also for themselves.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. In an earlier edition of the Issue at Hand program, CEO of VINLEC, Dr. Vaughan Lewis, said that according to a preliminary assessment on Union Island alone, the power station suffered $6 million worth of damage. In a determined effort to combat violent crime, the Royal, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has charged 2 suspects with murder in connection with separate incidents that occurred in 2023. On November 18, 2023, Leon Games, a 26-year-old resident of Layou, was brutally shot while at his home. Following investigations, the police have charged Michael Liscott, also known as Metal, a 21-year-old resident of Old Montrose, with the murder. Preliminary findings indicate that Games was targeted and suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Despite being rushed to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, he was pronounced dead upon arrival. The tragic incident took place on Texier Road, Layou, shortly after 8 p.m. In a separate case, on September 7, 2023, Giovanni Batiste, a 28-year-old laborer from Rose Place, was fatally shot on his way to work at a construction site in Bocamet. The police have charged Rhonda Dunbar, also known as Bells, a 37-year-old resident of Rillen Hill, with the murder. The attack occurred around 7:55 a.m. and officers arrived to find Batiste with multiple gunshot wounds. Both Liscott and Dunbar were arraigned before the Serious Offences Court on July 19, 2024. They were not required to plead to the indictable charges and were remanded into custody at His Majesty's Prison until September 9, 2024 for a preliminary inquiry. Still on the local scene, the Ministry of National Mobilization has ramped up efforts to address the impact caused by the devastating passage of Category 4 Hurricane Beryl. Permanent Secretary in the National Mobilization Ministry, Marissa Finch-Burke, says the ministry has been actively managing disaster response efforts across the Grenadines following recent calamities. According to Mrs. Finch-Burke, the ministry has initiated private home placement registrations to accurately account for displaced individuals, as many have opted for private accommodations over public shelters. Burke highlighted that, as of the latest figures, 1,300 individuals are residing in public shelters, but a significant number, approximately 1,881 households, are in private home placements. These efforts are crucial to ensure all affected individuals receive necessary aid. Additionally, the ministry has expanded its operations to 8 district offices, allowing for more comprehensive and localized support. The National Mobilization Permanent Secretary emphasized the ongoing challenges, noting the increased scale of damage compared to previous disasters. On to news in the region. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield visited Haiti to meet with leaders of the new transitional government and Kenyan police, who are part of a UN backed force aiming to assist Haiti's national police in tackling rampant gang violence. During her 1 day trip, she aimed to address Haiti's humanitarian crisis and advocate for political reforms leading up to democratic elections in 2026. The ambassador made significant announcements related to Haiti's security and humanitarian challenges. Gangs, which have gained a significant level of power since President Moise's assassination in July of 2021, control much of Port-au-Prince and surrounding areas, prompting civilian vigilante responses. Haitian Prime Minister Gary Connell's transitional government has received international backing, particularly for the deployment of Kenyan police crucial to curbing gang activity and facilitating democratic progress. The violence has displaced 580,000 people, predominantly children, and left 4 million facing food insecurity, prompting international assistance efforts. Residents of St. Mary, Jamaica, frustrated by ongoing power outages following Hurricane Beryl, have taken to blocking the Junction Main Road to demand immediate restoration of electricity. Using felled trees, they barricaded sections of Broadgate and Castleton early Monday morning, causing extensive traffic delays despite efforts by authorities to clear the road. The protests also highlight grievances over disrupted internet services. In a separate incident, residents obstructed parts of the Anoto Bay Main Road, further underscoring widespread dissatisfaction with electricity shortages since the storm hit on July 3rd. Although the roadway has reopened to single lane traffic, these demonstrations reflect a broader wave of unrest across the island. Jamaica's Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Darrell Vaz, has urged against further protests, arguing they could impede ongoing efforts to restore power across affected areas. On the international scene, the World Health Organization, the WHO, is extremely worried about the possibility of an outbreak of the highly infectious poliovirus in Gaza after traces were found in wastewater. Dr. Ayadil Saparbakov, head of the WHO's team in the Palestinian territories, told reporters that a risk assessment was being implemented and that in the meantime, health workers in Gaza were providing protection advice to the 2.3 million population. But he added it would be very difficult for people to follow it given the breakdown of water and sanitation services. Traces of polio, which is spread through fecal matter, were found in sewage samples collected from 2 different sites in Gaza a month ago, indicating that the virus may be circulating. No associated paralytic cases have been recorded so far, but the Israeli military said on Sunday that it had begun vaccinating its soldiers. The WHO and the UN Children's Agency UNICEF believe a mass vaccination campaign may be needed in Gaza. However, the repeated delays for aid workers and humanitarian supplies getting into Gaza and huge security risks moving around the territory mean an effective campaign will be very challenging. Finally, in sports, Andy Murray has confirmed he will retire from tennis after the 2024 Paris Olympics. The 37-year-old is planning to play in the singles and doubles at what will be his 5th games. Arrived in Paris for my last ever tennis tournament, Murray wrote on X. Competing for Team GB has been by far the most memorable weeks of my career, and I'm extremely proud to get to do it one final time. The Scots' first games appearance was in Beijing in 2008 when he lost in straight sets to Liu Yanxian in the first round. 4 years later, Murray swiftly put the disappointment of a Wimbledon final defeat by Roger Federer behind him, defeating the Swiss in straight sets at London 2012 to win gold. The Briton became the first male tennis player to win 2 Olympic singles titles when he beat Argentina's Juan Martín del Potro at Rio 2016. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 o'clock for WEFM's 3 p.m. news. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Quartz St. Vincent Limited.
Just for you at Quartz Optical. Get 15% off. When you bring in your prescription from any other eye care provider, we'll give you 15% off the cost of your frames and lenses. So visit us today and get 15% off. Offer valid on cash and credit purchases. Conditions apply. See in-store for details. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.